So the world is going mobile. What does that mean? Well, let's try to get our arms around it. Right now, there are 4 times more cell phone users than people who own a PC or a laptop. That's important for us to know because a lot of those phones are smartphones, and you're going to find out in just a few minutes as I share with you what a big impact that's having in terms of how people get information and even entertainment. Currently, 25% of the U.S. mobile web users are mobile only. What does that mean? That's worth circling right there. I'd write that down as a note. That means they do not or rarely use a desktop or laptop or maybe even a tablet to access the web. So it is their primary portal. And 80% of the people in the United States today have a mobile phone. So, and again, a large number of them are smartphones. Let's do some comparisons. Daily newspaper circulation right now is hovering around 480 million. Cable and satellite TV subscriptions at 850 million. Personal computers, there are about 1 billion of those. TV sets, 1.5 billion. Subscription email users, about 1.3 billion. And internet users, 1.4 billion. That's a lot of people looking for information and entertainment. And the bottom figure there compared to 5.2 billion mobile phone subscribers. Now, up until now, we really haven't thought a lot about that technology as being something of a media channel, but that's changing, and it's changing rapidly. And the technology that we'll talk about today is part of that revolution. It's going way too fast to be an evolution. It's a revolution. So the 5.2 billion mobile phone subscribers and growing, one of the things that people are using this new technology for, if they have a smartphone, is to receive push notifications. There have been up to this point 125 billion push notifications have been sent. I'm going to talk to you more about that later in the program, but that's huge, and it's going to be a big change for the way that we do business and how we communicate with our customers. You're talking about being able to push a message right onto the screen of their smartphone, and it's every mobile device for every customer, and that's a massive instantaneous communication and connection tool with your customers. So we'll learn more about that shortly. There is an evolution of media taking place. I kind of had fun starting off over here on the left with the TV with rabbit ears. I do want you to know that we're going to come back to this technology in just a moment, believe it or not. I'm going to share something with you that's kind of interesting about what's going on with that, because there's actually a little piece of technology that's had a little resurgence around that. So we've moved from that. We moved to computers and laptops, and now the smartphone is the way that a lot of people are getting not just their information, but their media, their entertainment. And if you've been on any of the sites like Vudu or Hulu Plus or Netflix or even Apple TV, you know that that's true. I have friends right now that do not own a conventional television set. What they have in their homes is an LCD panel, pretty large ones, and they're hooked up with a tablet or they're hooked up with a computer or Apple television, Apple TV, and that's how they get their television and their movies. So big shift there in terms of how customers, and that includes your customers, are getting their entertainment. So as we move forward, we're seeing, we've got to start thinking about these handheld devices, these mobile devices. And, here we see a smartphone, we see a tablet, and then we see this little device that I was sharing with you. So if you'll take a quick look right here, that's our old rabbit ear. And it's actually plugged in. That's a device that's plugged into a tablet, and it receives local television via any hotspot that it's near. So that's a way that people are actually using tablets as televisions. So this is going to force us to think about, how and where are your customers getting their entertainment and, of course, their messaging from you. So it's a big change. Another big change is that we're seeing a rise in something known as couch commerce. A lot of people think that all people are doing on a tablet and with apps on their phones are gaming and taking advantage of time that they can play. This stat right here that I'm sharing with you on this slide kind of dispels that. In fact, 21%, the people that are purchasing using a tablet, 21% higher purchases than that on a PC. That's not an insignificant statistic. Think about the implication to us as they shop for a vehicle or they consider where to have their vehicles serviced. So big changes in terms of how people are shopping. They're shopping where it's convenient for them, and there's certainly a lot more to this idea of where and when they want to shop is where you need to be, and you need to be there on the device that they're on. One of the things that comes up often is it's just for those kids, right? The answer is no, it's not just for kids. This is a study that was done by Nielsen in September of 2012, so pretty current data. And if you look at it, this is mobile car shoppers, mobile car shoppers. So they are people shopping for a vehicle, and they're using a mobile device. And if you look at this top group right here, all the way down to here, that's about 66% of these. And where I'm from in Austin, Texas, that's about 2/3 of them are 35 years of age or older. And I'm particularly get very interested when I see something like a little over a quarter of them are 55 plus. And these are, again, these are people using a smartphone or a tablet or some form of mobile device to shop for a vehicle. So if you don't believe it, let me just ask you quickly, what's in your pocket? I'll bet you have a smartphone or some kind of a mobile device pretty close to you. Most people do these days. Okay, so just one last look at the kind of the statistics of all of it. I think we get the picture that it's a big world and it's moving fast. The Apple operating system, the iOS and the Android operating system adoption is growing 10 times faster currently than the PC revolution. And 2 times faster than the internet boom. Both of those we thought in that moment, in those historical moments, we thought those moved really, really fast. It was like a wave overtaking us. But this is moving even faster. So this is not something that we can delay on. We really need to be spending time like we are today, and we do appreciate you joining us to take this look at how the world's going mobile and what it might mean to us. 2/3 of the population, now get this, they sleep next to their mobile device. That's significant. That's what I call an intimate relationship. And the past 2 years, mobile searches, them searching for things on the internet, have grown 400%. And I would just quickly remind you before we get out of this area that, or this part of the session, that you understand that for many people, this is their primary portal to the internet. So that concludes this session.